How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Ron, and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Stadium 2 walkthrough series. In our last episode, we had cleared off the stadium by getting our final cup being Prime Cup, finishing off all of round 1, but of course before we can move on to round 2, we have to face off against our final opponent being our rival. So let me go ahead and jump into picking out our team while I explain what he is all about. So the 6 Pokemon I am going to be bringing along are going to be based off a unorthodox strategy, but is typically what you'll see in speedruns and is the most common in taking them out with rentals. And that is because the Pokemon I am bringing along are going to be based off using the moves of Counter and Mirror Coats and Explosion moves. So let me go ahead and pick out the remaining 3 left. If I can get there. Right. Voltorb. And then the last one, I'll just go ahead and bring out. Oh, I skipped them. Oh, wait, can't do letters. Is right here. Alright, so no need to bring any items. Let's go ahead. Because our rival is going to be bringing on 3 Pokemon. He has a lot to bring more, but he's just going to be bringing 3. Yo, you finally got here. Now we'll decide things once and for all. Being Ho-Oh, Lugia, and Mewtwo. Certainly overpowered options indeed. But we'll go ahead and just bring out anybody, but the lead I do want to bring is Hitmontop. Not guaranteed, but he does typically like to start off with Lugia, and Lugia does know Aeroblast, being a flying type physical move that should not knock out Hitmontop, but do serious damage for counter to work. That is going to be strat 1. And brings out Mewtwo. Okay, so strategy is kind of have to be changed a little bit. So what I'm going to have to do is bring Pineco.
Switching Pokemon. That Pokemon must not have been the right choice.
And if it knocks out Pineco, that's okay. Pineco is, in this situation, more of a filler Pokemon than anything else.
Ah! A crushing blow. Taken down with 1 hit.
That's
that
fine.
Was just too quick.
So my next poke is going to be Voltorb.
This battle is intense right from the
Because
start.
as we saw, most likely will use Psychic, so I'm going to go for Mirror Coat.
This has become a clash between different Pokemon types. Vicious attack.
But Strat gets ruined by Crit. Normally that would not knock out Voltorb, but that ruined it. Alright, so now I'm going to have to do Method 2. And that is going to be... I'm going to go ahead with Corsola. I'll save Mewtwo for
Oh, it's Corsola! Will this battler live up to expectations?
So far battle isn't going off the way it should be.
Wearing off in battle. There it goes! That struck home!
Alright, did 200. That will definitely knock out Mewtwo.
Miracle! A heavy hit! Oh no! Think it just like that! There's a big difference in the number of Pokemon.
Honestly, it doesn't matter who brings it out next because we're still going to get knocked
Oh, it's
out.
Lugia! Will this Pokemon avenge the honor of its fallen comrade?
And it doesn't matter, like I said.
Clash of different Pokemon types. A psychic blast! That's it! Oh! Knockout!
Alright, thank you, Corsola. You did your job. So now it's time for Hitmontop to do his.
We're eagerly awaiting the appearance of the next
Only thing
Pokemon.
that'll ruin it, of course, will be a crit. We already saw Mewtwo do it. Hopefully Lugia won't as well.
The number of remaining
Go for the
Pokemon is
counter.
3 to 2. A sharp attack! It's super effective!
Alright, good. Aeroblast normally won't kill without crit, and Counter will do its job and knock out Lugia.
That's some major damage! Whoa! KO'd by 1 hit! There's only 1 Pokemon
And with our last 2 being Aerodactyl and Wallifet, we are in prime seat for everything to go in our favor. Of course, what will ruin it is RNG, but of course we'll just let Hitmontop see its fate and get knocked out.
A flash of sacred fire! Right, that's a hit! Oh, it has no strength left! The next Pokemon needs to be prepared! Oh, it's Aerodactyl!
And since he can't switch out, Ho-Ho will have to suffer a nasty ancient power with times 4 weakness. And with Aerodactyl being one of the fastest, this should not get out. But should. Not enough power. That's fine.
It shrouded itself with safeguards.
Alright, regardless,
Fierce battle.
as long as this ancient power does its job, we have cleared round
A
1.
show of ancient power. That's it. There are no more remaining Pokemon. And there goes the battle.
It took 5 Pokemon, but we still were able to do it. What is the I lack? And it's credit time. So of course, once you defeat the rival, you have successfully completed pretty much half of the game. We are at the 50% mark. All that's left is round 2. So what we've seen here was, of course, round 1. Pretty much what you would expect would be just, all the trainers, gym leaders, and opponents would pretty much have their specific type Pokemon. Strategies aren't as difficult, and sometimes even the variety of Pokemon and difficulty isn't as high as we've seen in many of our videos. But of course, I'm going to let the credits do their thing while I explain to them what we're going to be seeing in round 2. In round 2, the difficulty level just spikes dramatically. So, of course, when it comes to Gym Leader Castle, which we'll be tackling on next, a lot of the opponents and the gym leaders, they're going to have a variety of Pokemon, and the movesets and also stats are going to be going up, and difficulty is just going to be very hard to maneuver, but we have to still manage it. At least we will be bringing on our own team, so at least in terms of how to manage it, should be okay, but that doesn't mean we have to take it lightly. The challenge gap is extremely high from round 1 to round 2. And of course that same rule kind of applies into the stadium when we get there. There are going to be different Pokemon, different movesets, different levels, different type of strategies that are going to be needed. I will be honest, I am more familiar with round 2 and some of the mechanics and some of the numbers involved. I'm not too advanced on that maneuver though. But round 1 was a completely different challenge that we've seen. A lot of the Pokemon were easier to handle, and some of the movesets, in all honesty, didn't really make sense. I guess that's just to show you a glimpse of what round 1 is. It's not supposed to be too difficult, just really to introduce you into the whole game. That's not going to be the case next round. In many of my videos you'll see coming up when it comes to round 2, you're going to see a lot of frustration, anger, surprises, unexpected turn of events. And hopefully RNG will save us. We've seen it go against us in many of our videos prior, but we have seen it in our favor. And boy, were those moments beautiful. But that's just to get a glimpse of round 2. Of course, with many videos out there, we've seen, you guys already know how that is when it comes to round 2. It is one of my more favorite rounds because of how much more difficult it is. Albeit with your own team, it's already easier at that point. But with rentals, oh man, you need more than luck. You need prayers at that point. Man. But I certainly love doing round 2. That's pretty much why I love this game. The difficulty and the amount of effort you have to put into this. Because compared to the newer Pokemon games, while there is still a lot of strategy, this has its own different kind of strategy that the newer games don't really have, or not implemented at that point, because there's just so much of a difference between now and then. And that is always why I admired this game so much. This has always been one of my games I always wanted to put out up there in videos. Just love playing it. The reactions and the surprises you get are just unbelievable. It's always been a game I admired and loved and will always be my favorite. It wasn't the very first game I've ever owned. I did get it years later on, but better late than never, right? And it's certainly one of my favorite games up to date. It is always going to be a game I will always replay, always watch, doesn't matter. I just have that much of a fond memory of this game. Similar to the original release in North America, that is, for Pokemon Stadium 1. I do have a love for that Stadium game as well. I just love Stadium 2 more just because it's more polished in some areas. Not to say that it's a complete game, but it is more optimized, if that's the better word to use. The credits scene. And of course, they look like that because of how unoptimized my computer settings are, so I do apologize for that. But of course, I am going to explain a little bit more of how I handled round 1. With not too much knowledge in the first round, I certainly didn't handle a lot of battles in that manner. I certainly didn't know too much of the teams and the Pokemon that were supposed to be brought out, and a lot of the strategy involved. I did have my own team, so a lot of it was pretty much overcome by just having stronger Pokemon with better movesets. And in round 2, I do have a more fair knowledge in how teams are supposed to be set up, what Pokemon are more likely to come more than not, and even sometimes like the backup plan in case that fails. So I did have some hiccups in the beginning. I'm going to try to eliminate that a bit more when we get into round 2. So pretty much going to be mirroring pretty much the same video chronologically as I did in round 1. Going to be starting off at Gym Leader Castle, then of course I'll head on to Kanto Gym Leader Castle, complete everything there, and then move on to the stadium. Then the last would be our rival again for round 2, which will pretty much wrap up the entire series at that. But we are at the halfway mark, and I've been loving the journey so far. Just making these videos, playing through, it's been amazing doing so. As I've always been saying, it's been one of my favorite games that's ever been released. Just playing it is just so much fun and so rewarding to at least have out there. And I will try to see if I can up the difficulty a little bit by still bringing on some rentals. Of course, if I wanted to make it just hands down difficult altogether, I would just bring rentals only. But maybe that could be for a future series. If I did decide to, I don't know yet. I do kind of want to do this game again, but I might do it with rentals only. That is already in its own just difficult in round 1, and then in round 2 it's just a behemoth of challenges on its own. But I'm still thinking about it. I may want to do it, and I'm not sure yet. I haven't planned on any other games yet. I'm still deciding. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go from here. I still like making these videos and love putting them out there for you guys. Just not sure what the next step is going to be. I'm glad I'm still here right now, and we'll decide on that in the future, just not entirely sure yet. Oh man, these credits are so laughable because it's just error screens and messed up graphics. I do apologize for that. Don't have a video card optimized for these to handle them, or I don't know if my game isn't just polished enough to handle it. If you guys know, you can go ahead and inform me, but I'm just gonna leave it as this for now. But I am thankful for being able to put out these videos and do this. It's one of the things I've always loved doing the most, and I'm glad I'm able to do it now. I've always had resentment before, but I'm just glad I'm able to do so. About future upcoming videos, I also did have in mind to stream some of these live. I'm still debating on whether I should. I did want to, of course, clear off the series here before I even started moving on to that. If the time comes to that, I may decide to start streaming it live on YouTube or on another platform. If I happen to do so, you guys will know. Pretty much apart from this, everything in my thoughts are just in beta stages right now. I'm not entirely sure how that'll go for now. I just want to take things one step at a time and finish off right here, and I do want to finish off on a strong note. I've had some hiccups here and there. And in terms of like hiccups here and there, more like in the creation of these videos, I'm still a novice when it comes to being able to upload and being able to edit and do any kind of changes. But I still just love making these videos as they are regardless. It's just the way I love doing them. And I will still continue to do so. As we move on, as it clears, as we move on to the next round. So of course I'm just going to skip over that. What we should see here is going to be round 2. So let me see if it actually did it here. Yeah. Alright, so that's what we should see. Normally, if I didn't complete it already, the screen would have changed, but we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna just ignore all that. But now our next challenge is gonna be round 2. Let me go ahead and skip this part. And where we will now leave on to is Gym Leader Castle, just as we did in the very beginning. As I said, I cleared some of this already, so it started me off there. But where we're going to start off in our next episode is going to be back at Violet Gym, where everything started with Faulkner, but in a whole new difficulty gap. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We've pretty much cleared half of the game, and it's been a great ride doing it so far. Just, we've seen a lot of weird moments of euphoria, hysteria, everything. That's pretty much what Pokemon's all about. Just unexpected surprises at every turn. And when we come back in our next video, we will start off in round 2 with Gym Leader Faulkner. So again guys, thank you so much for watching today's video, and until next time, I will see you guys back here, round number 2. Thank you.